Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Well, welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you realize I'm not in Florida today. I'm actually in Scottsdale. Finally got back on the road doing some mastermind meetings and actually speaking at a conference by one of my colleagues. And very interesting, it's the first time I left the state of Florida in probably 14 months. Definitely the first time I've been on an airplane in that time too. So I thought today would be a good day to talk about why it's important to get out of your office, why it's important to get out of your day-to-day environment, why it's important to collaborate with like-minded people, and kind of maybe unpack a little bit from my Magellan Elite Mastermind. This group is around for over a decade, founders for sure. And, this is the first time we've had a live meeting in over a year, and it was very interesting. So I'm going to unpack all that for you inside of this conversation today. So let's talk about why it's important to get out. The big challenge this industry has right now is the industry is burnt out, by and large. We've all been stuck in our homes. We've all not been able to travel. We've all not been able to see loved ones. We've had to pause our bucket list, right? And so what happens is, we get this kind of grinding mentality that sounds something like this. I really can't go anywhere right now, so therefore I might as well just fill in the blank. And normally we will fill in that blank with the word work. Might as well work. And look, I was guilty of as much as anybody, right? And what I found getting up in the morning here, doing my morning ritual, watching the sun come over the mountains, that I started to think a little bit differently. Like I started asking myself, okay, what do I want to do next? What's my big time? Like all of a sudden my mind went from just tasking out, right, to really now thinking in a very global strategic level. And the difference here is that I think it takes multiple days. Like you just can't grab a mental health day, or I'm just going to take the day off, go sit in the backyard or sit on the deck or sit on the porch and have that happen. It doesn't work that way. You need to really change your environment. So I go from Florida up to Scottsdale, right, which that's not in the neighborhood. And I found myself after like the second or third day, I've been here now for about 5 days, that, the brain is starting to relax a little bit. I'm starting to think a little bit differently. I'm starting to make some different decisions. I'm starting to, what's next? And that's what's really important. All of us, you, need to find a mechanism, a tribe, a path of getting out of your day-to-day. And when I say environment, I'm not just talking physical environment. Like who you're talking to, who you're having conversations with, who you're hanging with. Like we're talking about changing all that, right? That will give you breakthrough thinking. And we need breakthrough thinking, right? Because for the last year or so, we haven't had it. So number one, I encourage you all, summer's coming. You see the same information I see. Rates are going down, cases are going down, states are starting to open up. In fact, we were just here at the resort here in Scottsdale, and we got an email that as of today, if you're vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask indoors anymore. Like you just do what you want to do, right? So we're starting to see that. And I would encourage each and every one of you to get out and do some things around that. Like go change your environment. The second thing I want to talk about is, just the quality of getting into a study group or a mastermind of like-minded advisors where you can just be open and honest and have real, raw conversations. When I ask my members about the value of my groups, right? And again, I'm not saying you should come to my groups, find a group. They all say the same thing. It's the relationships. It's not just the time in the room doing what we do, but it's the lunch. It's the cocktail hour. It's the dinner, right? It's these things where you build powerful relationships that, yes, we come together a couple times a year, but these relationships are omnipresent. Like, they'll have your back. You can call, email, ask them, offline. We've got these beautiful communities. And I just think it's such a rich experience. I want to encourage every one of you to go find your version of this. Like, we wrapped up, I actually have two groups here. I'll be here, that's why I'm here for the length of time. Like, my elite group, like, we're friends. Like, we're friends. The average member in there has been a client of mine for well over a decade. Right? We're friends. Like, we know each other's businesses. So I want to encourage you to find something like that for yourself. I want you to thinking what's my next step? What's my next level? While I was here, I also spoke at a conference. It was a new conference, two young guys rocking their game out. And they asked me to come speak because I'm a coach to one of them for almost 15 years. And, they wanted me to talk about mindset, and I'm not going to unpack that entire conversation here. But what I want to give you very quickly is that one comment I made to everybody in the room: all things are possible in this industry. All things are possible in this game. But you have to ask yourself 3 critical questions. Question number 1, what do I want? And I need that in very specific language. So I want to make more money. I want to be more successful is not specific language. So you must go ahead and put together a very definitive statement on what the goal is. The second thing you've got to do is you got to be what I call the why. Why is a must, not like to have, hope it happens. Are you willing to go to war for it every day inside of this game, even when you don't want to? Yes, I use war, battle, game, whatever you want to call it. Are you ready to rock star that every day? Because if the why is not big enough, your motivation will wane. And the difference between motivation and inspiration and being on mission, light years, day and night. Anybody get motivated? That's like a sugar high. I'm going to go watch some motivational tapes or video tapes. Listen to me. I'm watching motivational videos or podcasts, whatever. And you get all excited. Or I'm going to go to a conference, get all excited, right? Sugar high. But when it's a must for you and the why is big enough, you will get up every morning when you don't want to get up. You will do your morning ritual when you don't want to do your morning ritual, and you will make your calls. You will ask for your referrals. You'll do everything that I know an advisor needs to do to level up their game because you're on mission. So that's question number 2. Question number 3. They're all important, but this one is definitely the most important one. Who do you need to become in order to pull this off? So one of my conversations with this group was, I walked them through a little bit of an exercise. And I said, okay, goal, the why, right? Who do you need to become? Because what most people worry about is the 4th one, which we're not going to talk about today. The 4th one is, okay, how we're going to do it. That's always the easiest one. That's math. I need these many clients and this much new money. I need generate this kind of fee-based revenue. That's simple. That's 5 minutes on a whiteboard with a calculator maybe and get it done. But who you need to become, that's a critical question. Because I'll tell you right now, the person you are today cannot pull that off. So if you've got a big goal, let's say you want to double your business in 5 years, triple your business in 5 years, you better be asking yourself, why is that important to me? Why is it a must? Why am I willing to go to war for that? And then the second thing you got to ask yourself is, who do I need to become to pull this off? Like, what has to happen? Because the man or woman, you, has to elevate first. Then your business elevates. Then your bank account elevates. So the sequencing is this. I elevate as a person first. I become a better version of me, the next version of me, right? That's who I need to become. And you need to define that. Once that happens, then the practice, the business starts to elevate. The third thing is then the bank account elevates because of items number 1 and number 2, right? That's the game. It's not, once I get my business here, then I'll go do that. No, and that's what you've been saying to yourself. It does not happen. Like, great example. Oh, Joe, once I can put another, 10 million under management, I'll go get a coach. Dude, no, figure it out. And I'm not saying me, like I'm pretty much full. So I'm not saying me, but if your thinking is, if I have to wait to invest in myself, you'll never invest in yourself. And you'll wonder why you can't grow your game, or why you feel stuck, or why you feel plateaued, or why it's not happening fast enough, right? And advisors are the most impatient human beings walk the planet. Everybody wants it yesterday, right? And you wonder about those things. And the reality is, because your sequencing is wrong. You got to take care of you first. I don't care if you run a lifestyle practice out of your house with 100 clients and a part-time assistant, or you're running an $8 or $10 million production team with $500 million to $1 billion under management. It's the same game. Like, you got to be clear on who you need to become. And until you can identify that and be committed to that, you're going to be frustrated, my friend. That's what happens. Okay. So last thing real quick, just want to let you see this. It's kind of cool. I know maybe you've not traveled yet, and this is not to kind of say anything, but I just want to let you know, when you feel safe enough to get on an airplane or get in a car and go somewhere, I forgot how important this was. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks for listening and watching this episode of Magellan Network Show. See you soon. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game, both personally and professionally.